Today, I'm challenging myself to do my own nails in 2 hours. Let's see if I can do it. All right, the timer has officially started and I'm taking off this manicure that actually went kind of viral on TikTok. And if you want to see how I did it, I just posted a full tutorial as my last video, so be sure to go check that out. I'm actually really sad to take these off because they still looked really good because I did this technique that kind of makes your nails look fresher for longer, and I'm gonna try that out again today. Also, I'm using some new products that I've never used on YouTube before, but also a new collection that I just got in that I'm so excited to try out. Okay, so I'm starting with removal and I'm doing my classic fill process, which I also have a video all about. If you're interested in seeing that, I will link it here. But basically what I'm doing is only removing the top layers of this manicure. So I'm removing the top coat, the color, and then kind of just debulking the builder gel that I had on, while leaving behind a thin layer of my clear base that I put on underneath this pink builder gel. And I'm going to prep my nails on top of the clear base, which is going to protect my natural nails from being over prepped. And it also just kind of speeds up the process because I don't need to soak off my gels. I'm just going to kind of take it down, make sure everything's looking okay, and then keep going. Since I did that soap nails manicure not too long before this one, I figured there wouldn't be too much prep that I needed to do. Like, I just did my cuticle work really thoroughly and I just reshaped my nails. So at this point, I'm just doing some touch-ups. Before I get too into the cuticle work, I am going to buff or etch the surface of my nails. This is going to make sure that there aren't any shiny gel bits left behind. I want my entire surface to be matte and scratchy and roughed up because that's going to help the next layer of gel adhere properly. I'm using this file that's a 240 grit, so it's pretty gentle, and I'm also not applying too much pressure at all because I really just want to make sure that I'm roughing up the surface, but I'm not actually really removing any gel or taking off any extra gel because I want to keep that thin layer of base that I mentioned earlier and make sure that that stays intact. Now I'm just quickly exfoliating the cuticle area and making sure that any cuticle that's grown up on my nails in the past couple of days in between when I did my nails last is exfoliated off so that it doesn't get in the way. I should mention that I'm doing these nails for a trip, so I still want to make sure that I'm prepping my nails really thoroughly and using products that are going to help with my retention because I don't want my nails to lift while I'm gone. I want them to stay intact so that I don't have to worry about them at all, and also so that they look really cute. Now I'm just clipping off any skin that got raised up during that cuticle removal process, and all of this is dead and dry, so it doesn't feel like anything, I promise. I also just love doing one last little buff. So I'm using this little orange sponge buffer and just going over my nails, making sure that I got all of that cuticle off around my cuticle area and sidewalls, which is really, really going to help prevent lifting. And then I'm cleansing super well with isopropyl alcohol, and that took me about 35-ish minutes. Now it's time to use our gel products. So like I said, I really want to make sure that my retention is great for this manicure. So I'm using my favorite adhesive soft gel base. This is Kokoist Mega Stick base, and it's just so great at preventing lifting. And I also always wear this underneath my builder gel because it helps with that fill process. Like I mentioned earlier, how I removed all of the pink builder gel until I hit my clear base. And this is the clear base that I was talking about. So this is just essential in my routine because, again, helps prevent lifting, but just makes sure that I can do the fill process the best that I can. Usually when I do my nails, I'll do my entire right hand first and then my entire left hand. I just feel like it's a little bit easier. But I was trying to be efficient, so I figured since I have all the tools and products out, I should just do both hands at the same time so that I don't have to get things out twice. And I don't know if it was any faster. I feel like it probably was, but I still kind of prefer doing it the other way when I have a little bit more time. So I just did a quick thin layer of Mega Stick on all of my nails, cured it fully, and now I'm ready to move on to my builder gel. And today I'm using the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder Base, but it's in a pot. So I'm also using the application brush and detailer brush to apply it. And also I'm using this little stick flash curing lamp that I just got from Kokoist, and it's so nice because you can just grab it really quickly and freeze whatever you're doing in place so that you can just keep moving on with your process and you don't have to put your entire hand in the lamp when you're just flash curing. But I'm just using it for flash curing, and then I'm doing a full cure in my full size lamp once I am happy with all of my nails. Okay, so to apply this product, I just picked up a little bit of the builder gel on the application brush and did a slip layer like I normally would. And then I went back and grabbed a little bit more polish and kind of floated the bead through my nail and refined it a little bit with the detailer brush. And here I'm looking at my line of light, so you can kind of see the reflection of the light in my nails. It got a little bit wavy in that kind of bottom corner area of my nails, so I added a little bit more gel just to even it out and make it look totally smooth. Once I liked how that looked, I just froze it quickly in place with that stick lamp and then moved on to my next nail. And I really like using the detailer brush to refine the builder gel. I think it's really helpful because you can just really control how much product you're using, and you can just easily get it towards the sides of your skin and make sure that your line of light looks really smooth too. This builder gel self-levels so nicely, so even if you kind of dig the detailer brush in your nails weirdly, you flip your hand over and it will self-level beautifully. And here is the final look with my builder gel. And now it's time to do my right hand, which always takes me a longer time. It's just like so awkward, and I feel like I can never get it to just balance out quite as smoothly and quickly as I can with my left hand. But we made it through, and now we have a little over 40 minutes left. You might have noticed that I didn't shape my nails during my prep process, and that's because I was trying to save time, and I decided I was just going to shape my nails after I applied my builder gel. Since this builder gel is semi-hard, it can withstand being filed, and it actually is good to file it because I'm doing a finish file here as well, which means that I'm tucking my natural nail underneath the top layer of builder gel, which helps prevent lifting from the tips. And while I was doing that, I shaped my nails to make them a little rounder, and now it's time to do my color. I'm using this new collection from Yogurt Nail Korea. It's called Sugar Bubble, and it's 8 magnet glitter colors that have this like chunky crystallized sugar kind of glitter inside of it. I decided I wanted to do a couple of the colors on my nails, and I did my right hand off camera, and unfortunately the timer started going off, so I started my stopwatch to see how much longer it was going to take me. I'm starting with this lilac color, which is such a pretty light purple for spring, and since this polish has that kind of chunky crystallized glitter like I mentioned, I decided to do 2 super thin coats. That way my nails wouldn't be too thick or chunky, and I also really like doing 2 coats of magnetic glitter because it just adds a lot of dimension, and it kind of makes the base color pop a little bit more too. My stick light came in handy for this part of the manicure too, because as soon as I liked what the magnetic particles looked like, I grabbed my light to freeze it in place and then moved on to my next color. Now I'm using this really pretty light pink color and then just literally repeating the same process, doing a nice thin, even coat and then activating the magnetic particles with my magnet here. I'm not really doing anything specific with this magnet technique here. I just kind of like to lift up the particles all around my nails as best as I can. And then I'll kind of just use like the top of the magnet to try to push the particles into the center to make it really stand out and pop towards the middle of my nails. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'll usually go back and kind of bring the magnet just to the sides or the tips of my nail and kind of like rotate the magnet in my fingers to lift it up a little bit more. And like I said, as soon as I like what it looks like, I'll flash cure it and freeze it into place so that the particles don't stand down. And now I'm just doing a quick second coat, same deal here, doing a very thin layer of the polish and then reactivating the magnet too. I think this is a really great way to give your nails that kind of glassy 3-dimensional look because you have those 2 layers of the magnetic gel that just are really reflective and dimensional and just look so great together. I'm only using 4 of these colors today, but there's 4 more colors that are kind of like cooler tone, like blues and whites and pinks, and I really need to use those soon because they look so beautiful too. I also really need to decide what to do for my wedding nails, and this one right here that I'm activating right now is kind of a front runner because I just love like a neutral but like super glittery look, and I feel like it would look good with my dresses. I definitely need to do some videos trying out wedding nails soon, so stay tuned. Okay, next I'm adding little butterfly sequins. I feel like these are just a fun addition and really scream spring, and also was a fun way to kind of tie the other colors that I did on my nails together and sort of make the manicure look a little bit more cohesive. I used these sequins that I just got from Amazon, and then I'm applying it with a little dot of the Kokoist non-wipe accessory bond. I literally just dabbed a little bit of that on my nail and then put the butterfly over it and flash cured it and then did a full cure after. Now that that's fully cured, I'm moving on to my top coat, and the sequins are kind of 3D and raised, so you need to like encapsulate your top coat here so that you have a fully smooth surface. If you don't encapsulate the sequins, they'll be kind of loose and they can literally fall off of your nails. It's happened to me before before, so learn from my mistakes and make sure that you spend a little extra time on this step. Speaking of time, this was really my downfall, and it took me a little bit longer to do this step than I had anticipated. I like to just do a layer of the top coat and then kind of float a bead through it and then flip my nail over so that it's not like flattened out and so that the structure kind of maintains itself. And then I did a finish file once that was fully done, just because it's like kind of chunky glitter. Sometimes it can make the free edge feel a little bit jagged. So I'm just filing it to make sure that it's super smooth and to make sure that my shape looks nice too. Even though I'm in a time crunch, I would never skip this step because I feel like it just makes your manicure look super nice and crisp, and it really is one of my favorite finishing touches. I also like to do the E-file big ball bit with cuticle oil, but I was already running so behind, so we're skipping that today. And I did just apply some regular cuticle oil, and it definitely isn't the same. It's not quite as luxurious, but it still gets the job done. Here's the final look, the final manicure. I love how these colors look together. I feel like they coordinate really nicely, and it's almost like a super subtle, like Skittles manicure. And the way that these reflect in the sunshine is just so gorgeous because you have that chunky crystallized glitter that almost like reflects rainbow colors somehow. It's truly magic. And then we have the magnetic glitter, which gives my nails that dimension that almost looks like they're moving, and it's just truly my favorite thing. These turned out so cute. I'm so happy with them, but unfortunately they did take me a little bit over 3 hours.